Yeah. Welcome to the Gunny Gumby Show. I can do it all, I will never fall. It's the Renaissance, you know that I got the mother sauce, man. You know I'm the boss, I know what it costs. Have you ever lost? I'm so versatile, yeah, I'm a Renaissance, man. I can do it all, I will never fall. It's the Renaissance, you know that I got the mother sauce, man. You know I'm the boss, I know what it costs. Have you ever lost? I'm so versatile, yeah, I'm a Renaissance, man.
So, New York Jets are now back-to-back weeks without catching an L. Feels good, right? We were able to go ahead and utilize that victory Monday, drag it on into a couple of weeks. And I get it. It's kind of lame, right? Because we obviously didn't play. But the Jets didn't have a chance to lose this week. So for me, I'm going to take that as a W. Back-to-back weeks, we didn't have to go ahead and see a New York Jets loss. We get to enjoy the win. But that's besides the point, man. Even though this has been an uneventful week in terms of Jets playing football, my goodness, did the New York Jets make some noise this freaking week. With the trade deadline looming yesterday, we saw the New York Jets. I mean, they made some gutsy moves. We're going to be talking about that tonight, what this means for the New York Jets. What are your thoughts on pretty much the trades that we just made? In case you weren't tracking, in case you weren't aware, the New York Jets made two major trades yesterday. One Sauce Gardner to the Indianapolis Colts, and one Quinnen Williams to the Dallas Cowboys. Both guys, I think, are fan favorites. Both guys are individuals you want to believe and you would think you would build around. But now that I'm going into day two of processing this, man, this is the kind of move you make if you're serious about truly flipping your franchise around. And I know that sounds like it might sound like I'm coping right now, but there's more to it. I got Tigo in the building with me tonight, man. We're going to go ahead and chop it up. We're going to talk about these freaking moves today or yesterday. New York Jets making some big moves, what it means for the Jets for this season, what it means for next season, and honestly, what does it mean about this coaching staff and our general manager and Muji? Because we got a haul back for these two guys. And, without further ado, my boy Tigo. What's up, Tigo? How you doing, brother?
Great. I think one thing that you said was wrong is that we didn't get an opportunity to lose this past week. And that's absolutely wrong because we could have been today without the dubs that we got yesterday.
That's a fact.
We could have kept everybody.
That's a good point.
That's an L.
That's
an L. We could have kept everybody and kept losing games. We knew we were going to lose games, but we caught, in my opinion, 3 massive dubs yesterday. So,
okay. So you can already tell in regards to how Tigo feels about yesterday's breaking news. So yesterday, I don't know about you guys. I'll tell you what my little situation. Yesterday, I'm at work. We're in a meeting, and it's going throughout the entire morning. So I'm in this meeting where I'm in the room where we don't have service, so I can't really see my phone. Plus, we're focused in there anyway. I wouldn't be able to look at my phone. Anyway, meeting is over. So I'm going to grab some lunch, and my phone starts blowing up. Like, it's just ridiculous. Boom, boom, boom. ESPN, Sleeper, everything's blowing up. And I don't get a chance to really read them, but I get a text message from a couple of my friends, and they're like, wow, Sauce Gardner to the Colts, huh? And I thought to myself, oh, here we go. You guys are trying to clown me. This Sauce Gardner to the Colts. That's cute. So I finally get settled in and whatnot, and then I start going through some of the notifications. Sauce Gardner to the Indianapolis Colts. I text our group chat to see, like, if this is real, and y'all were all already talking about it. I'm like, this really happened? We traded Sauce Gardner? Yeah, man, look.
And then the best part is within seconds of you sending that.
Q Williams.
Quinnen went. Like, that's how late you were in the thing, because we were already talking. You sent that, and then the very next message, I think, in the group chat was Quinnen to the Cowgirls. And then everything just fell apart in the group chat.
So initially, I will say this. For all of the Jets fans who are upset about this, and I know there's a lot of y'all, I feel you. When I heard this happen, immediately like my heart sank a little bit. How do you wind up trading Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams? How do you trade the two all pros we have, the two best players you have on the team, arguably? You got also freaking Garrett Wilson in that conversation, but you trade these guys. Like, how could you? How could you? And again, resonated to it. I got pissed off. I went through the phase of we just lost, like our team just died. You just ripped the heart out of our team. I go through that process, and then I step back a little bit, and I start looking at the compensation the Jets were able to go ahead and acquire for these guys, man. Over the next 2 seasons, the New York Jets have 5 first-round picks and 4 second-round picks. That is bonkers in terms of an arsenal. That is a war chest you can go to war with and do some damage. You can go ahead and turn your franchise around with what the New York Jets have layered up over the next 2 years. And then when I started to sit back and think about it in that aspect, listen, man, we've had Sauce Gardner here for 4 years. We've had Quinnen Williams here for 7 years. We've had the top 5 defense thing. It hasn't worked. It hasn't resulted in wins. It hasn't resulted in even making the freaking playoffs. To have the balls, though, to make this move, knowing, 1, the fan base is going to look at you like you're crazy, and 2, the NFL is going to be like, these guys are insane. But then you look at the compensation you got back, and then now everyone's thinking to yourself, wow, the Jets are really serious about really changing things around. And that's how I'm starting to look at it. The more I think about it, man, this team was so far away from being a contender. We need quarterback. We need another edge. We need another wide receiver. There's so many components missing to make this team even a well-rounded roster. And we're also lacking so many depth pieces. That this is how you create an infusion of talent is 1, through the draft. The amount of cap space we're going to have over the next couple of years is freaking ridiculous as well. You go ahead and acquire some veterans into the group to go ahead and it's the Lions formula. It's the Lions formula. This is when I started to sit back and think to myself, okay, we lose Sauce Gardner, we lose Quinnen Williams, and that sucks as a Jets fan. But as a football fan, it makes so much sense. And does this not accelerate the New York Jets actually being able to get better faster by now having these assets? What's your take on this?
It makes the team worse, which is good for the rebuild. I will say this. I'm happy that the trades happened. I'm sad that the players went. Regardless of what you want to say, objectively speaking, Sauce Gardner is a top 5 corner in the NFL. And Quinnen Williams is the same at the interior of the defensive line. But the truth is that we got grandfather packages, offers for the both of them. There is not a single player on this roster. If any team in the NFL called right now and said, we will give you 2 first-round picks plus for X player, there is not a single player on this roster I would not ship out. Not one that I wouldn't give up for 2 first-round picks plus. Because that's what we got for Sauce. Yep. And for a guy who's 28 and when we're good again is going to be on the wrong side of 30, to get a 1 for him is an absolute masterstroke. And so losing those guys are going to objectively make us a worse team this year.
100%.
And that's not 100%. A bad thing. That's not a bad thing. Because you want to lose out. You want to lose games. And you don't make this move unless you know you're coming back. I think that's a big thing. These guys know that they're not getting fired.
100%.
They know they're coming back. And you don't make these moves if you don't think that there's a solution at quarterback. You know Justin Fields isn't it. And I'm not saying that it's in the draft or if you don't have a path forward with the quarterback, like if you don't see that there is like there is a solution there, you don't make these moves. But they did. And they stocked up on assets and they stocked up to build this thing out the right way. And that's what they're going to do. And you have to hope that Muji continues his hot streak that we've seen him on since we hired him. A lot of the signings have looked good. The draft is looking good. These trades are looking good. The contracts look impeccable in terms of the Garrett and the Sauce contract. Like, I don't know what we have with Glenn, but I think we've got a pretty good GM with Muji. Let's keep it going. I'm going to hold my judgment, but as of right now, Muji is doing a much better job at his job than Glenn is at his.
Agreed. And I think this is why I put this up there, right? We just have 5 first-round picks in the next 2 drafts. And again, 4 second-round picks in the next 2 drafts. That's insane capital. Insane capital. Muji right now has started to make me believe, you know what? This dude's got that. He's got it up here. He's got the freaking IQ in terms of what a GM is supposed to be, what right looks like. He's got it figured out. The question I really have is, do we trust this regime in general in terms of the coaching staff to be able to turn around the players that freaking Muji's going to put on this roster? That's the only question mark about this freaking trade. Because again, when you look at what we've created here, it's an opportunity to fast track this team into relevance. Look, man, we weren't beating the Buffalo Bills with the roster as is, doing it slowly over the next couple of years. We weren't going to compete with the Patriots now, who apparently have found their guy in Drake May, and their team looks solid all around. You know, we might compete against the Miami Dolphins in their disparity as well, but like, is that really a win? This team needed to do something crazy. And the fact that they had the guts to make this trade, Muji having the balls to make this trade, to me, I think is the most impressive thing, is because you're already setting a tone to where, like, one, the rest of the team's going to look at this like, oh, we're giving up. We're punting on the season, right? The fan base is going to be, outraged and upset. And of course, these guys were 2 fan favorites. We love those 2 guys. So there's a lot you've got to now prepare yourself for in terms of a backlash. But you're right. You're not making this move unless you know you're going to be given the ample time necessary to actually see those next 2 seasons worth of picks come to fruition. I think Woody gave them that guarantee.
And here's the other thing, real quick, because I don't want you to.
Guys. Jesse P85, appreciate you, man, for being here. Chris, Wild True, I see you in there. Johnny Boy, what's good, brother? Miguel. Hey, Miguel, I don't know if you got the helmet yet or not, but the notification I got said that the shipping was delayed. I think it had to do with the plane accident that happened with UPS. They've shut something. I don't know for sure, but it's delayed. It says it's going to be on the 12th, my guy. So I haven't forgotten it. It was sent out. I'll get you the tracking number if you want it, but I just got a notification saying it's going to be there on the 12th. Appreciate you for being here. Vero Beach, what's good? All right, so we got a lot of guys who like the trade. It seems like there's the support for it. Appreciate you, Chris, my guy. Appreciate you. Let them know support. Like and subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to see. All right, Johnny Boy, we are winning out now. I hope not.
Oh, no. What he means by winning out is on Tankathon, it shows losses in green. That's what he means. We're going to win out.
Oh, got you. Yeah. Okay, that makes more sense.
But I did want to harp on something because I think a lot of people are talking, and they're not talking about this aspect of it, which I think matters so much about the belief that Woody Johnson has on this team. Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn had the balls to go to Woody Johnson and say, we're going to trade your number 1 and number 3 highest selling jersey players. Because that's what they were. Number 1 was Sauce. Number 3 was Quinnen Williams.
Yep.
Those are the guys that are selling the most jerseys on this football team. We're gonna trade both of those guys. And they were able to get him to say yes. Yeah, go ahead, do it. Because you don't make these moves without consulting the owner. You don't make those moves without consulting the owner. And if you have the vindication to say, no, I know this is the right move, like, dude, it gives me hope. It gives me this kind of understanding of maybe Glenn and Wilkes, who have been in the league long enough, kind of have come to an understanding of like, dude, defense isn't going to do anything in the NFL nowadays. You're not going to win off of the back of defense.
No, not anymore.
So get rid of these guys that we're paying a ton of money to, and let's invest this stuff on the right side of the football. And let's just make sure that our side isn't the reason we lose games. But let's not give the offense an excuse. Let's load it up with weapons. Let's not Sam Darnold, whoever the next guy that's going to come in here. Let's give him all the weapons. Let's give him a top 5 offensive line. Let's give him everything that a young quarterback or a veteran quarterback or whatever you do that has to come in. Let's not give them any excuses, and let's turn this ship around, not in 3 years, but in a year and a half.
And that's really the story here, right? Like, I was looking at this in terms of what you can do if you hit on half of these picks, just half. You don't have to hit on all of them. You hit on half, you can dramatically flip the script on what this team looks like year after next. I'm not expecting this team to be impressive next year. I think we're going to be in a situation where we're going to be a probably top 10 pick kind of a team. Again, part of the process. But like you said, year and a half, that following year, I expect that we're going to see some progress if AG is the guy.
Yeah,
I have more confidence that Muji is going to get the right people in the building based off of what we've seen thus far and what he's done with trades this season. The dude's made some moves. You've already seen some of the draft picks in terms of the Mason Taylor, the Zara Thomases. Like they're already panning out. Brandon Stevens, listen, I obviously don't know ball because I thought that was a dumb move. I thought it was freaking ridiculous, but he's been playing some of the best football he's played in his career over the last freaking 4 or 5 games. I think right now he's actually rated as a top 5 cornerback in the NFL, which is shocking to me. So
according to PFF, he's 18th. And if you remove weeks 1 and 2, which are the weeks that had everybody ready to like burn the franchise to the ground because he was one of the worst. Like, if you remove those weeks, he's a top 5 corner. Like, hands up, dude. Like, I wanted him off. I yelled from the mountaintops. This is why I didn't want these guys.
100%.
The Stevens signings.
And this is why you and I are general managers of a professional football team, because either they saw something that we didn't, but Stevens is balling out. Mm-hmm. And when you look at Sauce Gardner, and I've said this a couple of times now, right? So individuals were upset about it. And I said to myself, think about this, man. Sauce Gardner is a great cover corner. He's a top 5 cornerback in the NFL. I agree with you 100%. Great cover corner. But Sauce Gardner is not a game changer. He's just not. This isn't a guy who's going to go ahead and turn the ball over for you. He doesn't bring you much in terms of the run game. He's not very physical. And Jesse says something beautiful right here. Sauce got concussed making a tackle week 7. They want your corners to be more physical, to go ahead and be impactful tacklers, to impact the run game. Sauce Gardner from week 1 has been kind of like banged up, having to go ahead and put his head in there and make some tackles. The concussion happened this past week. He's not really built for what I would think AG wants his corners to be like. He's a very lanky guy, you know what I'm saying? He's a freak athlete. He's going to go ahead and, again, pass breakups. He's going to wipe away a wide receiver, but he's not a game changer. He's just not a game changer. And I think we got game changer. How would you – okay, so you said so you would argue that Sauce is a game changer?
Yeah, you have to change the way that you play your football game if you have to go against Sauce. Sauce is going to wipe out your wide receiver 1. Sauce is either going to wipe out your wide receiver 1 or wipe out a half of the field. I don't like this rewriting history of Sauce is a bad player or anything like that, or that he's not a game changer.
This year, I think this year he's what 98th or something like that in terms of cornerbacks. People are, I'm sorry. He was giving up 118 QBR when targeted. Somebody said like, oh, but his accuracy was like 49% or something like that. I think that Sauce Gardner is not Darrelle Revis. Sauce Gardner is not even Patrick Surtain. Those are game changers. Like guys, if you put them in the game, they're going to make a play at some point or another that's going to flip the script on the game. Sauce Gardner's he's never done that. He's never gotten into a game and he flipped
those are
the
two
script
different
on a
things.
game.
Those are two different things. I don't think a game changer. No, I think that is a game breaker. A game changer is someone who changes the way you have to play the game because he's on the field. You have to change how you play because Sauce is on the field. You can't throw to his side of the football. You can't his side of the field. I'm sorry. You can't target because that guy's not going to make catches.
I think he's
not going to get an interception or do those
Sauce Gardner of the first 2 years. Over the last couple of years, teams have not been afraid of throwing the Sauce, bro.
And they haven't been successful throwing at his side of the football.
They've went to them in times. That's not game changing though. Because again,
it
great
is
cover corner, not a game-changing corner. Like Sauce Gardner, to me, we got a game-changing kind of player in terms of assets back for Sauce Gardner. I'm not saying Sauce Gardner's a bad player. I listen, love the guy. I'm gonna miss the guy. I think he is a great cover cornerback in the NFL, but he's not there's only a couple of game changers at the position, and he's not a game changer at the position. Like teams aren't necessarily scared of throwing at Sauce because they know he's not going to intercept the ball. He's not going to intercept the ball. Worst case scenario, it's a pass breakup. We'll have to agree.
You say that as if it's a bad thing, though. Dude, an interception is icing on the cake. Why do you think that Tariq Woolen hasn't gotten the contract that, like, do you not remember in year one, everyone was talking about Tariq Woolen,
Yep.
and he had 8 interceptions,
Mhm.
and he's still an interception machine. Why is it that no one is trying to offer Tariq Woolen $30 million a year to be a corner? It's because, okay, Tariq Woolen might get you, let's say, 6 interceptions a year, and that's awesome, but he's going to give up 15 touchdowns a year. Has Sauce ever given up more than, 4 or 5 in a year?
That's because our defense has been pretty good in general. No team,
and he's a part of that. He's a big part of giving that reason.
If you tell me,
I think you're trying to take away.
If you tell me, no, I'm not taking away. I'm not at all. I'm simply saying I disagree with you, and I'm not the only one. He's not your definition of a game changer is not mine. My definition of a game changer is Patrick Surtain, who can go ahead at any given time. He's a game breaker.
He breaks the game.
Even heard of that?
No, but what I'm saying is a game changer is someone who changes the way that you as an opponent has to play the game, right? Would that be a fair definition of what a game changer is? Yes. If I am an offensive coordinator, a game changer is a player that I have to change the way that I want to play the game because he's on the field, right?
What I'm telling you is the last 2 years that has not been the case. They've targeted Sauce in the hopes of getting freaking penalties, which they got a lot of them over the last couple of years. No, you're saying that like he wasn't targeted numerous times. Case in point, Darren Waller mossed the shit out of him again in the Miami Dolphins game.
I didn't say that he doesn't give up plays.
A.D. Mitchell, but this is what I'm saying though. Like that's not if you're still going to target him. If you're going to target him with a guy who just came off the couch after being a SoundCloud superstar, you're not changing the game. You know one of two things. Either one, you're going to go ahead and get one of 3 things, actually. 1, you're going to get the pass interference because he's been getting them a lot over the last couple of years. 2, pass breakup, no big deal. He's not a threat to take the ball away, so it's a pass breakup. Or 3, you make the catch.
Why are you acting? But here's the thing, Gunny. Why are you acting like a pass breakup's not a big deal?
That's not game changing. That's not.
Yes, it is.
It is not game changing.
You have to get yards to score points.
It's not game changing because you know what it means. It means you have another down available for you to go and get the first down if you need it. You turn the ball over. That's game changing.
Real quick,
I don't understand,
Gunny, real quick.
Your logic.
When are you throwing the ball more often than not? Statistically, when are you throwing the ball more often than not in the NFL?
On first third down and third down.
On third down, the most passes in the NFL happen on third down. A pass breakup on third down is done. Drive over. You're done. Ball, either it's 3 points or it's a punt. That's game changing. Because you hold back the points.
That's a turnover.
I'm not saying that he's going to go and get you interceptions. He's not. But like, dude, this idea that he's not a turnover
on downs. That is not a game changer. That happens every day in the NFL. It's hard to get first downs in the NFL.
Yes, and you can consistently get that with Sauce. You can't target his side of the field. I'm not going to sit here and stand for Sauce slander. I get that he's gone, and I'm happy that we got the picks for him.
Your thought process of slander is a top 5 cornerback that's good at his job at being a cover corner is slander. When I'm saying he's not a game changer, he doesn't wreck game plans. He's not the guy that's going to come in there and is going to be the impact player on.
If that's the case, why do we get 2 first-round picks for him?
Because I think Indianapolis is dumb. Personally, I thought that was too much. I still think it was too much. I agree.
It is too much.
Anybody you talk to is like, what is Indianapolis thinking? This is ridiculous.
What they're thinking is that they have the best chance to win the Super Bowl for a long time. They're the highest percentage. They're at 11%. And they can go and shut down half of the field with Sauce Gardner. And now they have a guy on the other side of the field in more. And Blackman's kind of playing well. That's going to help them on defense. That's what they're thinking. They're going all in. And we took advantage of that mentality.
No, 100%.
Because everyone's trying to get fired. But
they still
not game-changing corner, doesn't matter who it is. Who's a game-changing corner other than Patrick Surtain?
That's it. I think he's the only one. I think Patrick
Surtain's going for 2 firsts.
Corner. Patrick Surtain is the only cornerback in the NFL that I would consider to be a game changer. Game changers are
Patrick
the Max Crosby's of the world.
Would probably get traded for 2 firsts. Not really, because they're in their thing. But like, if he was on the Jets, if Patrick Surtain was on the Jets, we would have traded him for 2 firsts. That would have still been an insane value for Patrick Surtain. So how is it that a guy who can go for 2 firsts plus in Patrick Surtain and Sauce who goes for 2 plus?
You're complimenting an organization. Jim Irsay is dead. I don't know who's running it over there now, but Jim Irsay is dead. So, okay, case in point. So somebody who just took an L this past week, and it was an embarrassing one. They've been on a bit of a high, right? And they're thinking like, let's do a splashy move because we've got all the components on offense. Let's reinforce the defense. Fuck them picks. That's what we just witnessed from the Colts.
Yeah.
It wasn't a smart move. It was
No,
a
it
fuck them
was.
picks. And that's why they were like, we got to get rid of freaking. The reason why we got rid of Sauce Gardner is because like this is a ridiculous freaking offer, and they jumped on
Absolutely.
it.
No, I
That's
totally
exactly what it
agree with
was.
you. No, Gunny, I
Sauce
agree
Gardner
with
is not
you.
worth 2 first-round picks because he's not Patrick Surtain. Like, if you're telling me you can get Patrick Surtain in the building, that's the guy who's going to help you with in coverage, interceptions, in the run game. That, to me, is a game changer. If you're talking about Michael Parsons, 2 first-round picks, all right, that guy can wreck a game by him. That's a game changer. Like, guys who can go ahead and impact the game like that. You're talking about like, oh, third down, the pass breakup. That's a turnover on downs. It's not a game changing freak. But again, we're going to disagree. I don't believe. I think we got too much for. I'm not mad at it.
Oh
which is
no,
why I've
we
come
did.
around to appreciating what we got for him because you know what, we got 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner. I'm okay with that. I'm not mad at it at all. I think the Colts overpaid. I think most people think the Colts overpaid. Everyone I've looked at is like,
I think
people
they were
are like
to overpay too.
I mean, in this case, they had a pretty well-rounded roster, and if they keep going the way they're going, unless freaking Daniel or Indiana Jones turns back to Danny Dimes, they
Which
should
I'm hoping
go
for
ahead and
now.
and I'm hoping we see Danny Dimes come out of the gate because that's what I would like to see. But
no, the Colts making this move makes sense for them. They have right now of all 32 teams, they have the highest percentage chance to win the Super Bowl at 11%. That's the highest that they've been since Peyton Manning. You know what I mean? It's the right thing because if they lose this year, there's no guarantee that Danny Dimes is coming back. Like you're done. Everyone's fired. If you don't win out this year, if you don't go to a Super Bowl, if you don't go to win an AFC championship game, everyone's getting fired. Right? Like, are you going to give those guys? It's a new owner. She's like you said, Jim unfortunately passes away. She's in there. She didn't hire these guys. You got to make these moves. Like, I'm not saying that they were right in giving this package. It's an absurd package.
Ridiculous.
I get it though. To sit here and say I don't get it is just lying. I get it. You're fighting for your job. You're hoping to keep it. And this team, they're the best team in the NFL right now.
They are. And that's my point.
Which is insane.
Like, no one
Danny
expected
Dimes.
them to be the best team in the NFL right now. You're playing with house money right now. You're playing with house money. No one expected this. I wouldn't think these guys are on the hot seat because they're overperforming in what the expectation was with a quarterback that was a reject from the Giants, and was it the Vikings he was on last year too or something like that. Vikings.
He went to the Kevin O'Connell School of Quarterback Rehab.
School of quarterbacking, and then now he's here again. I don't believe Indiana Jones is going to remain as such. I think he's going to turn back to Danny Dimes eventually.
I agree.
And this is why I think this is kind of ridiculous because if you were willing to go ahead and make this trade with your team as stacked as it is, why not trade those picks to move up in the draft and get a quarterback next year? You've got the wide receivers.
Because that's next year. Who cares about next year? Who cares about next year?
I think
you're winning now. You're winning now, Gunny.
But
dude, if I'm in their shoes, I make that play. If I'm in their shoes, I make that trade. Which is ridiculous, by the way. Which is ridiculous. This is a fireable offense. That's 100%. What this is. 100%. Right? But here's the biggest but, right? And this is why I can just because it's a ridiculous 2 first-round picks plus AD Mitchell.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about AD Mitchell
package.
Listen, AD Mitchell,
insane package. But if they win the Super Bowl, who gives a shit?
Did you hear the report that said AD Mitchell wasn't originally thrown in there, and then they were like, "Nah, if you want Sauce, we want AD Mitchell." Yeah. They understood they had him on the ropes, and they were like, "Stab, stab, stab. We want AD Mitchell as well," and they gave him up. Look, AD Mitchell was a guy that a lot of individuals were high on. I think 2 years ago. 2 years ago. Dom was really high on AD Mitchell.
Wide receiver 4. The only other. Because it was Marvin Harrison, Malik Neighbors, Romo Dunze, AD Mitchell, and those were the only guys he had with first-round grades.
And I'm not gonna lie to you. What's not to like? 6'2", 205 pounds, was a 4.3 40, explosive route runner. Like he's a violent cutter. Like if you watch it, bruh. I think him getting thrown in is because of the incident where he dropped I think the drop in the really kind of set sour. But the Colts are also really deep at wide receiver as well. They're so deep at wide receiver.
They have no
But
need for
AD
him.
Mitchell, I really believe can be that number 2 guy we were dying for. And then if he hits, now you've got, Mechie and Smith are going back and forth for wide receiver 3. Everybody kind of aligns with where they need to be in terms of the depth chart. Now, if you take one of those first or seconds next year and you decide to add another wide receiver to the game, I ain't mad at you. Because, again, I want as many weapons as possible for our incoming quarterback. But that's the Sauce Gardner trade. How do you feel about the Quinnen Williams trade?
Masterstroke. The moment the Quinnen Williams trade became public and we saw what I was ready to start the GoFundMe to start the Darren Muhay statue. Because no. I don't think people understand this, right? A lot of people aren't draft nerds like I am, right? I thought it was a good trade when it was a first and a third, right? Because that was the report originally. That it was a first and a third, and that it was going to be a first this year and a third next year. And I thought, oh, okay, I guess 3 firsts in this round is in this year's draft class. Like, it's nice. It quarterback proofs you. You can go and get a quarterback, whatever. You know what I mean? And then it came out, wait. It's not a first and a third, a first this year and a third this year. It's a second this year and a first in 2027. And not just a first in 2027.
Cowboys first.
No. The higher of the two.
The conditional. You're right.
So if both of them fall apart and they're picking 1 and 2, well, guess who gets 1?
We'll take 1, please.
And I think the icing on the cake is that for those of you who don't know, 2027, the draft class that is shaping up to come out in 2027 has the potential to be an all-time great in the history of the sport, an all-time great class. And I don't just mean top heavy. I mean top heavy, mid heavy, depth heavy. If you need a player on your football team, get ready to find that guy in 2027. We're going to have NFL starters in the 4th and the 5th round. Starters. And I'm not talking like Kiko Muaga type starters who are barely above replacement level guys who are like, hey, that's nice. He can play, but we probably want him as a backup. I'm talking like starters in the 4th and the 5th round. Guys that you're excited about being on your football team. Dude, I love taking advantage of Jerry Jones. It's my favorite thing on the planet.
It really is fun.
Making a trade with anyone who's not Jerry Jones is fun, and I like it. Like what we did with the Colts or what we did with the Seahawks with the Jamal Adams trade. Those trades are fun. Yeah. But doesn't it just make you warm and tingly all over when you get to screw over Jerry Jones?
Yes, 100%. I find some level of satisfaction in that. And it's because it's Jerry Jones. I just love because again, the trade for Q, I think, was a desperation swing. I think your team is not good enough. You're not going to win much this year. Your season is effectively a couple games away from being over. Does Q make your defensive line better? It sure does. He sure does, 100% without question. But your secondary is still trash. You've got to figure out wide receiver 2 for next year because you're about to give. I think they're giving Q an $80 million contract extension, if I'm not mistaken.
Are they?
I think it's an $80 million contract. Oh my god! I heard was being discussed, bruh. And then you've got Pickens on a contract year as well. You traded for him, or are you gonna just throw that away and not There's so many. What the fuck were you thinking when you look at the way their roster is constructed? That's why I like this, because I think the 2027 pick, I think it's going to be a top 5, top 10 at worst pick from the Cowboys. The Packers will probably be fine. They've got a lot of youth. Those guys keep developing. They also draft very well. They got the quarterback figured out, man. The only thing with them, I will say, is, and I don't wish this upon any player in the NFL. I don't, but if Love goes down, they're done. That's a rough situation. Yeah, they're cooked. If they lose Love, then here we go. We get there first. Either way, I think the Jets, that 2027 first round pick we just got for Quinnen, is going to be a top 5 at worst. A top 10 pick At worst,
It's a top 10 pick guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Exactly. Without question.
Guaranteed it's a top 10 pick.
And that's where I look at the Quinnen trade. And that one made sense to me. You had already heard the rumors about Quinnen not being happy there, man. He was starting to, ever since Aaron Rodgers got let go, from the tweet he put out there, I guess I'm back into another rebuild. The dude has just not been kind of bought in. He's played like you.
Not happy to be here.
He's not happy to be here, man. You can tell. And you can't blame him. Dude's been here for 7 years, and all he's known is failure. He's gone through 3 general manager changes, 3 head coaching changes. It's a lot, bro. Like,
never had a winning season.
Never had a winning season. This is a guy that came from Alabama. All he's known is winning. You know what I'm saying? As a football player. So it made sense, and I wish him the best. I don't think going to the Cowboys is going to really help you in the winning front personally, but at least you get to keep most of your money because of the state taxes not being an issue, and the weather is nicer. When I heard the stadium over there is amazing. So you're going to have a quality stadium that you get to go ahead and play at. So more power to him,
and
bro.
Again, you go back home. He's from Texas.
He's from Texas.
He gets to go back home. Like, I don't fault him for wanting out. I don't even fault him for thinking that the Cowboys are a better situation because, well, they have been. Ever since he's been in the league and ever since he's been a kid growing up watching football as a Cowboys fan, Cowboys have been a better football team than the Jets. That's I don't fault him for wanting out, for wanting to go to the Cowgirls, all of this stuff. And, dude, if it's true that he's getting $80 million.
Winning again.
Whoever his agent is, I forget what her name is. She keeps killing it with these deals for her clients. She's is easily one of. If you're a young football player out there and you're watching this show, first of all, why haven't you DM'd Gunny to come on? Second of all, go figure out who this lady is and see if you can get her to be your agent because, dude, she will get you way more money than you deserve every single time. And I'm not saying that like that's a bad thing. That's a great thing.
This is a great thing. She don't miss.
If you can trick somebody into giving you way more money than you're worth,
take it
every time.
Every single time you take it. And now, again, with that Quinnen Williams trade, we talk about the picks, but we also got back Mozzie Smith. Now,
throw away.
See, that's where I'm a little bit I liked Mozzie Smith coming out.
I did too.
I thought he was going to be a great run stuffer. Listen, sometimes all you need is the right situation. Maybe the Cowboys wasn't the right situation. And let's not pretend. He's made plays in the Cowboys. He's made plays. Now, he has not lived up to the first round pedigree, not by any means, but he's made plays. As a run stuffer, he's made some plays. I think the throw-in of Mozzie Smith, change of location, can Aaron Glenn, can Steve Wilkes get the best out of this guy? Again, we were talking about Brandon Stevens being a bum. You know what I'm saying? Like Jason Brownlee, we were kind of question marks about what are we doing? And they've already offloaded Michael Carter, who apparently was a success story purely based off of the fact that he was in the solid system, bum. And they've been able to go ahead and fill those holes. So they asked for Mozzie Smith. I would assume there's something that they liked and that they saw in him and they believe can be an impact addition to this team. Like, again, with the trades we made for freaking Harrison. Is it Harrison? I'm going to say it's Harrison. And then the dude from Cleveland. What's the guy from Cleveland? The guy from Cleveland's name, the defensive tackle. I'm having a brain fart. But those guys weren't, or he wasn't doing that great in Cleveland, been a pretty good addition to the team now. I personally think that the addition of Mozzie Smith as a throwaway, as you said, could wind up being, this is a first-round talent. Never forget, this is a first-round talent. And a guy that was high on a lot of people's boards. Maybe it was a Cowboys thing. And he comes to the Jets, and then somehow we unlock some, I don't know, some untapped potential. Getting cash on run defense. I would trade back. So Infrared says I would trade back one of next year's first and 2 of next year's first to get possibly 7 first-round picks between now and 2028. I are we patient enough for that? Right? Like I think when you talk about adding more years to this obvious rebuild. We also have an offensive line that right now I think is going to be another year better, and you can start taking advantage of that skill set with a quarterback getting behind. I don't know if you want to wait that long because, again, there are components. I would trade the
second first.
The second first from this year's?
Yeah.
If you're talking about to get another first for next year's draft, 2027, then yeah. Like if you can go ahead and flip this year's first into a first and a whatever for next year's draft, 100%. I just wouldn't want to take it into 2028. I don't want to take it into 2028. I think at that point, you know what I'm saying, like we're extending unnecessarily this rebuild. Now, come 2027, if you're blown away with an offer for one of your picks, because again, deep, amazing draft class, and you can turn a second into a first in 2020, of course you got to do it. But for me, I would do a trade in this year's draft class to get more assets in next year's draft class, because again, 2027 is supposed to be an all-timer. And again,
and that's when you load up. Like, I think the right move here is, I think the Jets at worst get the number 3 pick. At best, we're the number 1 pick, right? So those are the extremes. I don't think we get past 3. I don't think, obviously, you can't go higher than 1. And so I think you're walking away with a quarterback, right? You're walking away with a quarterback in this year's draft class, whether that's Ty Simpson, Mendoza, Moore, Sellers, whatever your flavor of quarterback is.
You go get him.
You're going to get him.
Now,
and then if you trade back, let's say, the other pick, and you say, I'm getting out of the first round, I'm getting another second-round Smith pick, and I get 4 first-round picks in 2027, that doesn't mean that you're not loading up for this rookie. You're still going to have a really, really good offensive line, assuming you make the moves that you need to make to keep the interior alive, right? Because you got your bookend tackles. You already outlined it, Gunny, with the wide receivers. We would have a really good wide receiver room. Mm-hmm. Take a second-round pick on a tight end. Get another one to go there with Mason Taylor, right? Okay. You've got... I would franchise tag Breece Hall at this point. If you didn't trade him, franchise tag him. You got nothing to lose. Give your rookie quarterback a running back that can play football. So you're still going to give him the weapons. And what you've essentially done is you've put a pause on your rebuild, right? You've said, wait. Let's see what we have with this kid. Because if this kid can ball out, 4 first-round picks in 2020, that's a wide receiver, that's a defensive end, that's a safety, that's a linebacker. Your team's completely rebuilt.
Yeah.
Completely rebuilt there. I'm not even saying take a safety or a linebacker in the first round. I was just throwing out positions that we need right now. You're done. You're done. And that's not including your second-round picks or third-round picks. You're done. You've rebuilt the team, and you go for the Super Bowl run. And then if worst-case scenario, you find a guy and it doesn't work, 2027 is an all-time quarterback class. Josh Rosen that and move on. You Josh Rosen and you move on. You Josh Rosen and you move on.
So you had an interesting take the other day where you and I were talking. And I the more I think about it, I think you sold me on our trading of our first-round picks for a specific trade. So
it's not realistic. Like it's not going to happen. But if it became possibility,
I think there is a situation where it could happen. If I'm being honest with you, I think if the New York Jets get the first overall pick this year, you would have to bundle that and one other first, and I think you can get it done. The more I thought about it,
3 ones. I think
if you get the first overall pick this year's draft, I think you get it done.
Dude, you get the bona fide top 5. He's a bona fide top 5.
True.
I think you're going to need to give. I think you're going to need to. I would give the 3 ones.
If you get the first overall pick, you would include it.
Look, I get what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. Think of it from their perspective. We haven't even told the chat who we're talking about. Think of it from their perspective. They're going to want the third one. They're giving you a top 5 guy. All
right, chat. We're going to break this down for them. We talked about this the other day, and I'm not going to lie to you. At first I thought he was insane, but then after we got off the phone, I started thinking about it more, and I'm like, actually,
Gunny, I had the same reaction. I got the text from a guy who's in with the Steelers.
Okay.
Right? He is a really, really low-level reporter for a local paper in Pittsburgh. Really, really good friends. We've been friends for a long time. And he texted me after the trades happened. And he was like, bro, what a day to be a New York Jets fan. And I was like, right, bro? 5 first-round picks in 2 years? That's insane. And he goes, have you heard about the rumblings going on in Cincinnati?
All right, spill the beans. Let the people know.
And I was like, what are you talking about here? And he's like, look, you didn't hear it from me, but there might be a world in which Joe Burrow might want out of Cincy. It's very unlikely. They would tear down everything to keep him there. But there is a larger than 0% chance that Joe Burrow, if he doesn't see enough moves and things being done to fix the offensive line, that he would request out of Cincinnati. And I had the same reaction you had, Gunny. I was like, get out of here, bro.
Insane.
It's not going to happen. Give me the rookie, whatever. And then I thought about it. And then I sat there and I was like, well, he's never had our offensive line.
He has not.
Because everyone's going to say it. Wild Chew right there said it, bro. Beat me to the point. Oh, he's injury prone. Well, yeah, but has he ever had our offensive line? No, he's never even had a top 15 offensive line. He's never had it, dude. I'm sorry, but like for the people who are just straight up saying no, you're crazy. To turn your nose up at a top 5 quarterback.
Time out. For the record, everyone, I said the exact same thing. Injury prone. Hell no. How old is he now? 27, 28? Nah, man, I'm gonna go. But then he brings up the fact that like you would rather take a shot at a lottery ticket and maybe get the quarterback, if I say guaranteed top 5 quarterback. And I was just like, he's only top 5 when he's actually playing. He's only played 1 season in the entire time he's been out there.
You know who else has only played 1 season in the NFL and people were asking for him in the chat? Lamar Jackson.
That's true.
Lamar Jackson hasn't completed a full season, and people were out here trying to ask for 3-1s to go take J-Lag right on cue. I'd rather go take Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is also injury prone. Has he played more than 1 game this season? I don't know. But again, what happens if you put him behind an actual offensive line? What happens? Can he stay healthy? Like, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not saying it's realistic. I'm not saying any of this is even possible. But if he does it, to turn your nose up at a guy who is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah. Listen.
Dude, it's hard to say no. I want the rookie. I want the rookie. Let me be very clear. I want the rookie. Reset the quarterback and load up with the money on the roster. But, bro, I would have a hard time. I'm glad I'm not the GM because I would have a hard time sleeping at night if they came and they said 3-1s, Joe Burrow is yours.
So in hindsight, right? So when he told me this, I thought the same thing I'm seeing in the chat. You're crazy, injury prone, you're out of your mind, just reset all that. And then after about 30 minutes of us going back and forth, I think we both fell off the text message. I just kind of sat there stewing on it, just thinking. Of course, I go back and I put on some Joe Burrow freaking tape, watching Joe Burrow do his thing and whatnot. And that dude is good. Joe Burrow is really good at football. He's 27, 28 years old, so it's not the same thing as Aaron Rodgers. I saw somebody put Aaron Rodgers in there. We're not doing that again. He's literally almost a whole decade younger than Aaron Rodgers. Joe Burrow, man, I think if he became available, which I don't believe he will be, I think that the Bengals would roll over and do whatever he wanted to keep him there.
Yep, I agree.
You get a top 5 quarterback immediately. And if you put the right offensive line in front of him, can he give you those games consistently? Because, again, I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's had the best offensive line he's had was ranked 24th or 25th in the league two years ago. The year where he was in the MVP conversation, and that was a fluke because those guys wind up sucking the very next year. They just happened to have a decent year that year. It makes you wonder. It makes you wonder. The offensive line we have would be better. I think our offensive line has a potential to be a top 10 unit. You've got a guy like Garrett Wilson. You've got Breece Hall in the building. You're going to spend one of these picks on a wide receiver. It's hard to look at it and not think like, man, what if? Now, again, I don't think it's going to happen. And I'm with Tigo. I would rather just start from scratch so that way you've got all your assets, you're building it in your image. But it worked out pretty good for the Lions when they went and got Jared Goff, I would say. I don't think the Rams are upset about getting Matthew Stafford, right? Getting the veteran guy, a proven commodity in the NFL and making it work.
Tampa Bay loved going out and getting Tom Brady. Denver put up a statue of Peyton. Look, is it realistic? No, it's not going to happen.
I don't think so.
No.
But
bro, the fantasy's nice to think about.
It is nice.
Joe
fantasy.
Cool.
Joe Cool
In New
and then
York.
You brought up. It would take. What did you say? You was like,
No.
it
That
took
was
one Joe.
about Ty Simpson.
No. Oh, no. We said the same thing about this one. Hey, one Joe that cursed us, another Joe to break the curse. Is what you said.
Oh yeah. I said, yeah.
I was
one
like,
Joe set the curse on us. Well, we
another
got to
Joe-
break the curse with another Joe. Boom. It's the same argument that I would make about Ty Simpson.
Yeah.
The Alabama quarterback is the one that set the curse on us. We're going to have to break it with an Alabama quarterback. But
And I get just worry about. Listen, I get it, man. Build it yourself, and I'm not opposed to that idea. Except we've tried it a couple of times, and it's not
ask
worked
LA
out.
if they're upset about them building it themselves or buying it with first round picks for 6 years.
Yeah,
I'll take a Lombardi. I don't care.
I'll take a Lombardi. I don't care either. Throw that cash on. Hey, fuck them picks is what I would
real,
say.
Dude. If you're saying you don't get to make a first round pick for half a decade, Gunny, here's the trade. Yeah. You don't get to make a first round pick for half a decade, but you win a Super Bowl, dude.
Fuck them picks.
Absolutely. I'll get the full mural of all 53 guys tattooed on my back.
Easily.
What are you talking about?
No questions asked. I want us to be relevant, and I want to watch exciting football like now, if it was possible. Obviously, we got a process to go through. The Jets have the makeup now, in my opinion. Right, whether you trade for the quarterback, Jesse says wanting Joe Cool from Cincy is going to get us the wrong Joe Cool. Like he probably wouldn't be as cool if he came to the New York Jets. That's feasible as well, but I do
imagine him in New York in the dressing room after a playoff win
with a
in the
fur coat
Gotham
on.
Green with the cigar and the fur coat, because they'd give him a fur
100%.
coat, and he's gonna have a cigar in the locker room anyway.
You have to.
Him walking around just fur coat on, cigar on, sunglasses for no reason in a night game. Just dude, that would hit like crack. It's not gonna happen, but that would hit.
It's not gonna happen, but I don't think a single one of you in this chat would be upset if Joe Burrow comes into the building and the next year all of a sudden we go from 2-15 to in the playoff conversation come end of the season. We don't make it because we're still rebuilding, but then the following year you actually have a shot to be the one competing against freaking Josh Allen and Drake May. Don't forget, people, we have Josh Allen and Drake May in our division now. Josh Allen, best quarterback in football, top 3 at worst. Drake May, I cannot believe the Patriots got it right. I cannot believe
we gave him to them. We had to beat Bill. We had to beat Bill and give them Drake May. That's what we did, Gunny. That's what we did. And I don't know if you remember, Gunny. Do you remember who had Drake May as QB1 by far and away in that draft class?
You did. I thought you were insane.
And look who's looking like
I made fun of you. I made so much fun of you. Bro, Joe, he looks good. Drake May has looked really good, and it's upsetting because I was really hoping he was just big-bodied Zach Wilson, and he is not that. The dude is making plays. He's making throws. I think right now he's currently the number 9 quarterback in the NFL right now in terms of PFF grades. It sucks. It sucks because I was not expecting for the Patriots to find another franchise quarterback after being blessed with one for damn near 20 years. And we're still trying to figure it out. So this is why when you tell me that, hey, what if Joe Burrow, I'd be interested. I'd be interested in potentially having a top 5 quarterback on the team, and not have to worry about having to build up a quarterback because we haven't been successful at doing that. Justin Fields is the 7th best QB in the AFC East. Why are you like this?
This is Padilla. This is an all-time. This is an all-time comment. That's actually hilarious.
It's the 7th best QB in the AFC East.
Dude, that's actually hilarious. Bro.
Oh man! All right, Padilla, I see you, bro.
Well,
man,
round of applause. That was gold.
Oh man. But all right, overall, the Jets made these trades. Hold on, I got a graphic here that kind of breaks down what it all looks like thus far with Muji at the helm. Show the window. Boom, share that. So this is what he's been able to do, right?
Look at this.
This is just let me go ahead and that's insane to me. That's insane to me. You've got right now 2026 first round pick, 2026 second round pick, 2027 first round pick, 2027 first round pick, 2027 sixth round pick. You've been able to bring in John Mechie, upside wide receiver, Adonai Mitchell, upside wide receiver, Mozzie Smith. I'm not ready to quit on Mozzie Smith. I'm not ready to quit on him. I think he's got potential to be a good run stuffer for us on this defense. And look what it cost you. Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams, devastating, right? You're talking about two of the best defensive players in the NFL. We're not going to argue that they're not, because they are. And then Michael Carter, who I would consider a throwaway in a seventh-round pick. This is what our GM has done with Sauce Gardner, Quinnen Williams, Michael Carter, and a seventh-round pick. That is ridiculous value. Absolutely ridiculous value. And if he's in the people he's brought in has played well for us. They've played good football for us. I'm hoping Mechie or Mitchell or Smith winds up doing the same thing for us. At least one of those wide receivers to pop. I think Mitchell might be the one that winds up popping and being that legitimate wide receiver 2 we're praying for. But our wide receiver room got better. We've been talking about it needing to be better. That happened this week. Our defensive tackle, our defense got worse. Our roster in general got worse. There's no, it got worse. But the foundational pieces are there, man. The components you need to really turn this thing around and fast track that rebuild, it's right here in front of us. Like, I'm excited about what this could look like for us next year. I really am. I'm pumped. I was concerned in regards to how long it was going to turn this ship around. Are we going to do the whole slow turning process? It's going to take God knows how long. But this is the kind of ammunition that can fast track that turnaround. And I hate saying it because I know he does it all the time, but the Lions had to go through the pain, get the buttload of picks, and turn those picks into a formula that has won consistently. I mean, they're one of the favorites to make it to the Super Bowl in the NFC. That's where we want to be. We just want to be in the conversation. I'm not saying we're going to be in the Super Bowl next year or the year after that. I just want to be in the damn conversation, you know what I'm saying, before I'm 50. I would love to be in the graphic on December and be like, oh, look at us. We're still playing meaningful football in December. I'd love for that to be our story. And I think this does that. I think this is the kind of move that can make that happen. Now, for me, my biggest concern is AG the guy? That's really where it stands for me right now, man. Is AG going to be the guy that turns this thing around? Because I'm starting to believe more and more that Muji, I don't know what just happened with Tigo, but that Muji is making the right moves. And you want to share with us, Tigo, what just made you so happy, buddy? You good?
It's not making me happy, but I'm going to send it to you. There's a private chat in here, right?
Yeah.
Just saying. We were just talking about it, bro. Am I a soothsayer or what?
Get the freak out. All right. Now I got to share it.
Take it with a grain of salt. It's ML football.
No, even
right?
still, though.
This ain't a real source. But
it's not. But the fact that it's even, wow.
Tell me that doesn't look good, Gunny.
It does, though.
Tell me that doesn't get you hyped.
I mean,
good look.
That's clean. That's clean, guys. Look. Come on, Jets fans. That's clean right there, Doc. Good old Joe Burrow. Many Jets fans believe that the team could trade for Bengals star QB Joe. This is you. Tigo did this, guys. Tigo did this. Many Jets fans, though seems extremely unlikely, New York has 5 valuable first-round picks in the next 2 drafts. New York has also built one of the best O-lines in the league. He's literally parroting what Tigo has been saying.
Is he in our chat?
So that's kind of weird.
At me next time, bro.
That's kind of weird. He parroted exactly what Tigo just said. But yeah, there you have it. So it's not just us. Obviously, this is something. If it's not Tigo that spread this, other Jets fans are talking about. And again, I understand Vero's like he's in our chat. He's got to be in our chat. Like literally, like this is what we were just talking about. And then he posted
ML football. You're here. I know you are.
Last year's QB class wasn't good neither. Johnny Boy loved Dart though. This year Mendoza and Alar look pretty good. Yeah. I the whole Dart thing, I want to wait on that before I get too excited. It has been fun watching him play. But remember, Daniel Jones also took that team. They shocked everybody and took that team to the playoffs, and then Daniel Jones became Daniel Jones. I just don't know in regards to what it is about Dable. is he a quarterback whisperer? Is he a quarterback whispering fraud? Like, there's something about him that just seems off. But, man, I don't know, man. Joe Burrow being a New York Jet, you sold me. You did. I started thinking to myself, that would be something at least we know we got right.
I think the one thing I going back to reality, right? Because a lot of people are talking about this conversation is like, oh, I'm not sold on this quarterback class, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't really matter because, like, look at the quarterbacks that are having success in the NFL right now that have been drafted recently. And a lot of these guys were massively flawed coming in. It took Sam Darnold 7 years to figure out how to play football in the NFL. Freaking Baker Mayfield, it took like 5 years to figure out how to play football. Bo Nix, I know I was really high on Bo Nix, but I was in the small minority when it came to Bo Nix. A lot of people thought that Bo Nix wasn't going to work. Last year's draft class, a lot of people said was a bad draft class, and again, it's way, way, way too early to have a conversation about last year's draft class. I'm totally with you, Gunny. But Jackson Dart looks like he's got some juice. Let's see if he can keep it going. But he looks like he's a Neanderthal who can throw the ball accurately. You know what I mean? And Lamar Jackson wasn't a guy that was like super well, highly. He was the last pick in the first round. They came back to go get him. Like, we've seen in the NFL, you don't need a superstar quarterback to go out there and win you football games and to win you a Super Bowl or to even get you in the conversation. Most teams that have the superstar quarterback aren't making it. Josh Allen is one of the best, if not the best quarterback in the NFL, isn't making the Super Bowl consistently. Lamar hasn't made a Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson, one of the best, if not the best quarterback in the NFL, hasn't made a Super Bowl. Outside of Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow, who would be in that conversation of the top 5, so that everybody knows Justin Herbert is my 5th quarterback on that list. Those guys aren't making the Super Bowl all that consistently. But who is making the Super Bowl? The kid in Philly that I can't forget. Jalen Hurts, not an elite quarterback. Elite athlete, not an elite quarterback. No. Brock Purdy made a Super Bowl, not a great quarterback. You know what I mean? We've seen that you can go out there and you can win games and you can make a chip game and you can even win a Super Bowl if you don't have a superhero under there. And look, is it nice to have a superhero? Absolutely. Would I want to have Josh Allen's? Sure. Why do you think we're all foaming at the mouth to trade for Joe Burrow? Because having a guy who can just pull 35 yards out of his butt and put a thing on a rope where is awesome. But like, go back and watch Drew Brees. He wasn't a superhero. That's not what he was. He just
elite game manager, maybe, but he wasn't a superhero.
And he's an all-time great.
He's an all-time
great.
Yeah.
But he didn't win because he was magic. He's got a Super Bowl. Matt Ryan made a Super Bowl. He wasn't magic. And I think that is, where a lot of people need to get out of their heads is like, you fall in love with this upside. How many of these upside guys have hit? Zach Wilson's ceiling was through the roof. Caleb Williams' ceiling is through the roof. Like,
Trevor Lawrence was a candidate.
Trevor Lawrence's ceiling was through the roof. A lot of these guys, their ceilings are through the roof. How many of these guys are hitting it? Dude, give me a high floor guy who can come in, game manage, get the ball out on time, quickly and accurately, and build something around that guy. And you can go win 10. Freaking Indiana Jones. They have 7 wins.
That's insane.
All he's doing, he's not doing anything special. No. He's not even throwing the ball accurately. No. If you look at it, he's just getting the ball out on time. That's it. He's getting the ball out on time and into the hands of his playmakers early and often. And that's it. And they have the number 1 chance to go and win the Super Bowl this year at 11%.
Well, listen. All I know is we've got different avenues now, or we have options. We just have options now on how they go about this rebuild, and don't get it twisted. We're fully in a rebuild. This team is definitely head first into a full rebuild. And the one thing I got to say is you got to give props where props is due to have the balls that it takes to let go of your two best players in the middle of the season because you understand that your team sucks, your roster sucks, your talent is limited, and you need a lot to make this work. Takes a lot of balls. It just does, man. And for that alone, it does give me hope that this team is going to be on the right track. I'm starting to buy into Muji. Really am.
Same.
Tanner Angstrom, seeing him dig into his bag the last couple of weeks, I'm starting to see him get more comfortable in calling the plays he wants to call. I'm liking that. I don't know what's going on with Steve Wilkes. I know the defense has played better, but I kind of still feel like he's semi a terrorist in terms of how he's had those guys playing early. I feel like he's a plant.
Semi a terrorist. I don't know how you're semi a terrorist.
I'm just telling you. I just don't know about the guy. I feel like he's purposely
semi a terrorist.
You know what I'm saying, look, that's just how I feel. And then with AG, man, he says all the right things, and this is a guy who's obviously passionate. He's a jet through and through. He hasn't shown us enough. Now, again, that Bengals game, I feel like that's the one game he looked like an NFL head coach. He made some decisions where I'm over here like, what the hell were you thinking? Oh, it worked out. Okay, good job, coach. Like, he showed us flashes that it could potentially work, but we got to see a little bit more of it, right? It can't just be the one game because, again, this is a war chest we're handing to him and Muji in the hopes that this is the last rebuild we have to worry about, at least for the next decade, right? That's the hope. At least for the next decade, we don't have to even mention the term rebuild with the war chest you're about to get. So that's
I'll say this. I'll say this, Gunny. Let me be clear. I want to start the conversation here.
All right.
If I was the owner of the New York Jets, I would keep Muji. I would fire Aaron Glenn, and I would go and get an offensive guy. That is still where I'm at right now.
Okay.
Right. But one of the things that I have to keep reminding myself, and I think that a lot of people need to remind themselves, is in the same way that we look at a draft prospect and say, let's give it time, they can get better. We have to, I think, give some of that same latitude to coaches. He's never been a head coach before. He's got to learn what it means to be a head coach too. If we keep seeing what, we saw against the Bengals in terms of getting things out of your bag, letting Tanner Angstrom go open up the playbook more, getting creative, doing these different things, and all of the wild stuff that we saw, right? That's progress. And so like I said, I am still on the fact of it's one game. I want to see more. I'm not going to hail him king of the New York Jets just yet. But there's what we didn't have in the first 7 weeks was a light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah. What we didn't have in those first 7 weeks was hope. And I'm not even talking about just the trades. I'm talking about literally the performance that we saw against the Bengals. I would have preferred to lose that game. I would have preferred to lose that game and be like, dude, that was a really good coaching outing by that team, and we just lost. It's like what's happening in New Orleans right now. New Orleans are also 1-7. And they're one of the best 1-7 football teams I've ever seen. They're coached really well. They play really hard. They're just bad.
They don't have
and that's okay. Yeah. You're allowed to be bad. So that's the one thing that I'll say is give him some rope, right? Give him enough time to see what he can do. But I am still on team fire him because I don't trust. I just don't trust him. I don't trust defensive head coaches. If Tanner opens up his bag, year 3, you have to get rid of him because he's going to go get a head coaching job, and I got to hire another offensive coordinator. Do I really trust Glenn to do that? But that's a different conversation for 2 years from now.
Fair enough. Vero Beach, New York Jets, brother. I appreciate you, man. 15 months on Gunny's fire team, man. Appreciate you, big dog. His message is, or the Jets do what Jets do and continue to curveball us. Win out. Fields blows our minds. We re-sign Hall and become relevant in 2025. That will be a headline. That would be ahead. The Jets go 10-7 on the season the moment they trade away their two best players. Hall, I do believe the Jets are going to make a move on him. I think it's either going to be the franchise tag or they're going to sign him. I don't think you pass up on the 4th round pick you're being offered for him. Just a little precursor. So JJ was being offered, or San Francisco offered a 2nd round pick for JJ.
It's San Francisco?
It was 49ers. Yeah, that offered.
Oh, I didn't hear that. I heard it was the Bills.
Oh no, it was San Fran. If we traded him to the Bills, I'd have lost my mind.
No, I heard. So real quick, I didn't want to interrupt that because that's really interesting. I didn't know it was the 49ers. I heard it was the Bills offering a 2nd, and Muhe came back and said, "I'm not sending a guy to you for a 2nd more," and that's why the trade didn't happen. That's what I heard.
Oh, I heard it was the 49ers. And I guess pretty much the same thing. They wanted more on top of it for JJ. And I guess they didn't meet the price, so they called it. The Chiefs were the ones that were offering the 4th for freaking for
Brees. And they said, nope, 3rd.
Yeah. Listen, I think you keep those two guys or you don't trade those two guys at a high value point because you are going to keep them around. I think Brees Hall is going to be a nice assist to the quarterback we bring in next year. JJ is, I think, one of those all-around edges who can get after the quarterback, but also set the edge and be an impact guy in the run game. He fits the mold of an Aaron Glenn guy, right? So I just look at the amount of money we just saved with Sauce Gardner being gone, Quinnen, freaking Michael Carter, and you've got the bag now to go ahead if you wanted to pay both of those guys. But at the very least, I think JJ, you keep him in there. He's embodying what you want your brand of football to be. Will McDonald, we already know is going to be our speed rusher. That's his forte. But JJ is
gone in the summer, if we're being honest.
Who? Will McDonald?
Yeah.
I think you're high.
I think he's probably gone in the summer.
In year 3, you're going to get rid of him?
I'm not saying I want him gone. I'm saying if you had gun to my head, I had to make it like, is he on the roster week 1 next year? I think right now there's a more likelihood that he is not on the team than he is on the team.
Nah, I'd say he stays on.
I hope he stays. I like Will McDonald.
It's such a premium position, and good edge rushers are hard to find. I know he's
I totally agree.
Mightily.
Again, I don't want him gone.
Yeah, I hope you're wrong. I hope that's not.
I hope I'm wrong too.
I'd like to keep JJ and Will McDonald, and I want to add.
I would extend JJ. I would start working on that extension 100%. Now. Because the longer, I think we said this 3 weeks ago whenever I was on with you before, I was like, dude, the longer you wait to extend JJ, the more expensive he becomes.
He's on the get.
Yeah. Right now, he's on another year where he's been injured.
Yep.
Give him a 3-year deal now.
Yep.
Turn that 5th-year option into a 3 more years on top of it. So it's a 4-year deal where it's relatively compact and there isn't a ton of guaranteed money on it. And you basically tell him like, hey, this is a contract. And if you outperform this contract, we'll tear it up. We'll give you a new one. But like sign him while he's cheap. And I think you franchise tag Brees Hall.
Yeah.
Before we go, Gunny, I have a question for you.
What's good?
Okay. Because I do want your thoughts on this.
Yes, Jesse, he's still on his rookie contract.
Yes, he is on his rookie contract. Would you bring him back?
Team-friendly deal, 100%, yes.
Okay, we're on board. We're on the same.
It has to be a team-friendly deal. I do want to bring him back.
I do too. I don't want that jersey to go to waste.
No, for bro, I gotta replace the Sauce Gardner one now, dog. Like I can't.
I've got one, Gunny. You've got 3. You could just slide everything over.
Nah,
I got one.
It won't look right because then it'll be all off. Because the Joe Namath one is like really wide. It's wider. So I gotta get another autographed jersey. I'm gonna just get a throwback, man. I'm gonna get
Nick.
I'm gonna get a Nick. Yep. I'm gonna get a Nick Mango jersey. Get a Nick Mango jersey and swap that one out.
Because that's the right thing to do. Gunny put it in our group chat. I think he put it in Twitter or whatever.
Yeah.
Not Gunny. I'm a Green Bean. Put it in our.
Was it Green Bean? Yeah. From now
Green
on.
Bean put it. He's like, I've bought every jersey I've bought. I'm done. It's just Hall of Famers, greats, 100%. Legends. I'm done. Because I was talking about this. Like, I want a Jets jersey that I can wear, and it's just like it's hard. Like I have a Sauce jersey I can't wear. I have a Zach Wilson jersey I can't wear. I have an Aaron Rodgers jersey I can't wear. I have a Geno Smith jersey I can't wear it. And it's but you know what you can wear from now until the end of time?
Nick Mango.
Nick. You know what you can wear now until the end of time?
Revis.
So like that's what I'm doing. I'm getting a Nick jersey in the new style because I like the new jerseys.
Yeah, same here.
And I'm gonna get a 74 Nick, and that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm just gonna wear that until the day I die.
The graveyard of jerseys I have in my closet right now is just insane. It's an insane graveyard. And Q, I actually have a Q and a Sauce Gardner jersey. Both of them became invalid to me on the same day. Yeah, I mean, I'll probably see if my daughter wants them because she rocks a lot of the older jerseys and stuff and turns them into like cute little dresses and stuff. She can just do that. But yeah, otherwise, it's a wrap for me. I'm gonna just stick with the legends of the game. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the hangout for the evening, man. Listen, I feel like when me and Tigo get together, you guys really kind of pile in here, man. I'm gonna try to keep Tigo coming on at least every other week. I know he's a busy guy, so it's been fun, Tigo, man. Tell the people where they can find your channel, brother.
Talking Jets with Tigo. Look, I've been kind of on a hiatus. This team has had me really down. I've been doing guest spots here and there and talking and all that stuff, and I've been neglecting my own channel. That's changing. I've been also working like a mother. But that's besides the point. There's hope now. There's a lot of positives to look at with this football team. I'm excited. I'm excited about the future.
Yeah, and in a nutshell, I understand the pain and suffering we all kind of went through yesterday when you realize two of your best are no longer on the roster. It was painful for me too. But if we're being honest with ourselves, we've had these two elite players on the roster for the last 4 to 7 years, and it's resulted in nothing. It's resulted in no winning seasons. It hasn't paid dividends. I think the NFL is going the way of offense more so than the defense. The time of a top 5 defense being king, those days are over. The ground and pound, have a top 5, that's over, man. You've got to be able to score points in the NFL. And making this trade tells me that AG recognizes that and Muji recognizes that. And they understand that in order for us to be competitive in this NFL, we've got to go ahead and shift gears to a more offensive mindset. And I believe these assets were brought into place because they have every intention of pouring into the offense to make this offense everything that it can be. So this is the only reason why you don't trade Breece Hall, you don't trade Aaron Wilson's an untouchable. It's because you believe that the offense is going to be how you win games on Sundays. So listen, trust the process. And I know there's question marks about AG, but Muji thus far has given us a lot to look at and think to ourselves, man, we might have a guy at the GM position. We might have a dog at the GM position, and that can go a long way. I appreciate y'all for chopping it up with us. Really do. Love you guys. Love you, Jets fans. We'll do this again next week, man. As always, go Jets. And, yeah, I guess we'll see you guys next week at the Hangout.
But I also know this, man, we still have a long way to go. I'm going to enjoy this win. I'm going to enjoy this with those guys.
Who want to fly with them? Yeah!
I can do it all, I will never fall. It's the Renaissance, you know that I got the mother sauce. You know I'm the boss, I know what it costs. Have you what a loss? I'm so versatile, yeah, I'm a Renaissance. I can do it all, I will never fall. It's the Renaissance, you know that I got the mother sauce. You know I'm the boss, I know what it costs. Have you what a loss?